Hey everybody, how's it going? You can see I have here the new SVS 3000 in-wall subwoofer. This is a single subwoofer system. It comes in single or double. And I've just got the single system here, but I'm excited. I don't normally do unboxing stuff, but this being a really new product on the market, there's a lot of interest and a lot of questions about it, so I thought I'd show you what's in the box. Showed up in 2 packages. This was actually it wasn't just wide open like that. This was in another box, but this is the pre-construction kit. So this is what will allow you to mount the subwoofer portion of this directly to the studs in the wall. And I'm going to be using this. I know it looks like my wall is finished, but there's actually a false wall there. So if I pull the screen down or pull the velvet out of the bottom there, it's actually just, raw studs there. So I'm going to be using this to mount the subwoofer. And then the big box here has the rest of the stuff in it. Now, this is actually... It has the subwoofer itself, which is it's a sealed enclosure with 2 9-inch active sub drivers. And then it also has the amp for this particular sub it's the 3000 amp. That's the same amp they use for their, more traditional format subs. But it's a rack mount fit. So, and this can, like I said, it's a single rack mount amp, can power 2 of the in-wall subs, but you have to have that configured at the factory. So this is just the single. So there's a cutout template for if we were installing it in drywall. So you can just tack that to your wall and make sure you cut the right size hole. There's all the documentation. And then have the grill, which fits on the sub. Once the sub is installed in the wall, this will fit with magnets. That's not the sub. All right, so here is the actual sub. Like I said, it's 2 active 9-inch drivers, completely sealed kit with some padding, but I believe these are also likely the magnets or how it's going to stick. Has these dog legs here that'll come out and attach for mounting, but that's it. You see the nice speaker connections here. That's the sub. Also in the kit is, of course, the power cord. A pair of banana plugs for the speaker wire. A huge thing of silica gel, so we have dinner for tonight. Has a rack mount kit for the rack mount amp. So if you have an actual equipment rack, it's a nice clean installation there. And then here is the amp. It's not very deep. Dessert. So there's the amp, nice matte finish on it. Power switch, volume up and down. Off and power, low pass filter, and a phase switch on there. On the back, pretty typical for SVS subs. It has an LFE input or stereo RCA inputs, as well as stereo RCA outputs. And again, here you see it can connect up to 2 subs, but this was configured from the factory for 1. So this is the fuse. There's a USB here. I'm not sure what that might be for, but we'll find out. So yeah, this is the 800 watt amp when it's in a single sub configuration, and I believe it's 400 for two. So that is the 3000 in-wall sub. I actually have a couple of questions that I want to ask SVS as well as Chris Seymour, who made my screen. So we're hoping to have a Zoom call maybe this week that I'll record and we'll post on the YouTube as well. Just some installation questions and placement, and using it, possibility of putting it behind an acoustically transparent screen, and just best placement practices. So we'll be doing that. Then I'll get it installed and give you a full rundown and review of the installation process and the performance. Take some measurements and look for those on the channel coming in the future. So looking forward to getting this one out there. Thanks, everyone.